This conference will now be recorded.
Fine, yes. Thank you for joining again. So, quick recap of what we saw yesterday. Pretty much yesterday was providing you a walkthrough on what are the various topics that we are going to cover in this course and batch, right? I was going through each and every topic. Hope you able to understand or get an idea of what are all things you're going to learn. Okay. Before I go into the session, anybody have any questions? People who have registered, I'll provide the access. Few people have given the access already. For the people who have not given the email ID, I'll provide the access maybe after the call. Okay, you'll get a confirmation from me after the call. Okay. So before going to today's session, anybody have any questions? Anything that you wanted to discuss? A few people have asked. Okay, let me show the playlist. Okay, see, after the everyday session or after every weekend, on Monday morning, you will get a recording of the Saturday and Sunday's video. Okay, so this is a sample playlist from my previous session, which has happened. I think this is on April, right? So there are 30 sessions, 30 videos are uploaded into the playlist, right? So if you see here, Java app setup, Java programming, MySQL database setup, JVM concept, JProfiler, client side, Dynatrace, um, memory profiling, EBDUM, GC, thread concept, JVM benchmarking, Grafana, AppDynamics monitoring, Oracle AWR analysis, NFR analysis. So all these things, if you see here, it will be available in a single playlist, uh, so that you can refer to this always uh, after the session is over, and also after the batch is over, you will get this access to the playlist. Okay, so anytime after even the batch completes, you will have access to this complete playlist. Okay, I mean when I say playlist, this is for the April month, but our batch recording will be uploaded into the separate playlist, and you will get an access to our batch playlist. Okay, to the current batch playlist. That is number one. Okay, and second thing is I also mentioning about couple of other recorded videos, right? Say for example, Linux. Linux is again close to 9 videos are available, which is again taken by me. So this will also be provided to you after you made the payment and registered, right? This again, why it is important is, I mean, in your projects, you might definitely have to work with Linux systems. Your app servers might be in Linux, your load generator might be in Linux. So you should be very comfortable in using the Linux machine and using the Linux command. Okay, so this will help you to get up to the speed with respect to Linux. Okay, and similarly, there are other videos like CACD, Jmeter Jenkins, and then there is one more thing for synthetic monitoring in production, and then Python and Java programming language. Python and Java programming language is more, if at all you wanted to learn more about the programming language. But otherwise, the other things are all very much related to your performance, right? With this Linux, and then CACD, Jmeter and Jenkins, and then synthetic monitoring. All three videos will be provided to you once you register. Okay, so which means you can go through those videos as well whenever you get time, and if you have any doubts, we can discuss in the call in the session, or we can discuss offline as well. Okay, so when there are few questions today which I thought which are very common to everybody, so I thought I will inform that to you as well to as part of the clarification. Okay, any questions guys on anything? You have any questions around these recordings playlist? Good. Okay, so what we will do today is I'll take a random topic, okay, just for you guys to get a little bit of comfortness on the way I'm going to teach, right? To understand my teaching style. So I'll take some random topics and I will try to explain you. Okay. Um, First thing is, okay, before going to that, right? Um, One of the APM tool we will learn is AppDynamics, right? I told you yesterday, AppDynamics and Dynatrace. Okay. Yesterday, if you remember, I was having this e-library application, right? What I'll do is I'll also add a video, okay? On, if you see this playlist, you will have a video on the application setup and database setup. This one, okay? This and this both will help you to install this Tomcat and set up your e-library application, and also the database for the application. Okay, it's going to be very straightforward. Uh, Go through these two videos, Java app setup and MySQL database. If you have any questions tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, or if you have any doubts, or if you have any issue while setting it up, you don't hesitate to send me a screenshot and voice note. I'll help you out in the week. Okay, but this is very important, guys. Set up this application in your machine. Very, very simple. Even if you haven't done it till now, earlier, right? You have not done anything on this aspect. Don't worry. It's going to be very simple. Simple only. You only download it. I'm going to follow the instruction. It will get installed. Okay, you might face some problem, which is very common to anyone. I will help you to fix those things, but don't hesitate to set up this application in your machine. It's very, very number one prerequisite for you. Okay. Yeah. So once you install this Tomcat and you start your server, okay, you also need to go and um, set up a trial account in AppDynamics. Okay, this also I will explain you today how to set up a trial account and how to configure your e-library application. I'll spend probably 5-10 minutes in that, so that also you can do it in the weekday. And if you have any doubts, I can sort it out in the weekday itself. So when you come for the next session on Saturday, from next Saturday, it's going to be 2 hours every day, right? And you will be having everything in your machine to practice along with me. Okay, so number one is your application, Tomcat application. Okay, for Tomcat application, I'll explain you what you're going to do, which is there in the video as well. So first thing is, go to the drive. Okay, go to the Google Drive. The access which I'll give it to you. I have already given to few of you, and rest of you I'll give it after the call. Okay, go to the drive, and then you will see something called Tomcat. Okay, this Tomcat, you need to download it. Okay, once you download, okay, extract that to a folder. Okay, you just create a folder called PE. Okay, and then in that PE you can extract this folder Tomcat. Go to the Tomcat. Okay, before you go to the bin folder, before you go and do double click on this startup, right? Just go to the command prompt. Okay, and then type in Java version. You need Java in your machine. Okay, Java version. Java version is 1.8 in my machine. Even in your machine, if it is 1.8, or if it is going to be 11 or 13 or 14, it's not a problem. But make sure that Java is installed in your machine. Okay, that's a number one prerequisite. If you don't have a Java, install Java from Oracle website. Very simple. Just go in Google, say download Java 8, and then you download it. Very simple steps only. Okay, if it is already there, you verify this with Java underscore version. That should be good enough for you. If it is there, you leave it. Okay, this is the number one step. And then in the Tomcat folder, go to the bin. Okay, and then from here type in cmd command prompt, and then say startup.bat and execute it. Okay, and your server will start. My server is already started, so this will fail since I have already started my server. So you'll see this screen like this in your Windows taskbar. You will see this kind of Java button and Tomcat, and you will see that the Tomcat is started. Okay, you will see a confirmation message like this. Okay, once this is done, then go to your localhost 8082/e-library. You'll get this page, and then type in admin at jtp.com, and password is admin123. Okay, admin at jtp.com and admin123. Okay, once it is logged in, that is your confirmation for your application is working. So very simple step. Okay, don't even worry about the database setup for now. Download the Tomcat, okay, and then extract it, and then go to the bin folder, and then do the startup. Okay, so which is very simple. So don't even think that whether you will be able to do it or not. You will be able to do it. If you have any problem, there might be some problem. Okay, for some people, the server will not start. Nothing will happen when you click startup. Don't worry. These are usual things that will happen in a new mission. I will tell what can be a mistake. Okay, 90% of the time it will work straightforward. For 10% of the time it might not work. I will tell you when something is not working. I'll tell you how to fix it. Okay, but have a very open mind that you will be able to do it. That's the first step towards entering into the engineering world. Okay, fine. After this is done. Okay, go to the AppDynamics. Okay, go to the AppDynamics site. Dynatrace also will do it. Probably Dynatrace will set up Dynatrace maybe in the coming weeks or coming days. Okay, so AppDynamics trial account. Go to AppDynamics trial. Okay, and then okay, you need to enter your user ID, your first name, last name, and then provide your email ID, and then register it. Once you register, you will get your own account like this. Okay, you will get an account like this for you. Only thing is, it will not allow you your Gmail or Hotmail, right? The general email ID it will not accept. Okay, so better you go and use your corporate or your organizational email, right? For trial licenses, it is not a problem. You can use your company ID and then register it. Okay, other than that, you're not going to do anything at all. Okay, you're going to use it only in your personal laptop. Only for trial account setup, you might need to use your, say if you're working in HCL or if you're working in TCS or X7, just use that email ID as a trial account. Okay, but you're not going to install anything in your office laptop. Okay, so which means it's not going to create any problem at all. Okay, once you create the account, you will get your own URL like this. Okay, you will get this URL ID and password. You will get it in your email, which you will use it to log in. Okay, so from your laptop, type in this kind of an URL. You will get this URL also to your registered email ID. Okay, so within 1 minute, this process will get over. Just type in give your username, your name, your user ID, which is your email ID, and then you say register. It will get registered. Once you register, you will get this kind of a URL to your email ID. Okay, and then you log into this and then go to the applications. Okay, once you go to this application, okay, initially there won't be any application in this. Okay, you need to create a application. Okay, so click this manually and then just type in whatever name you want, e-library, whatever name you want to give, a meaningful name you give it. You can just follow this as is. Okay, very simple steps. Once you created this, okay, I should have done it through, once again, let me go to the applications, create applications through wizard. Okay, click the, I wrongly chosen manually, choose the wizard. Okay, we go to the application, create application, go with this, create an application using the started wizard. Okay, go with wizard, click OK, and then select Java. because ours is a Java application running in our local, right? Select Java, JDK plus. Okay, and then just select create a new application, give a application name, E library, and then just give tier 1, and then give node 1. Just by default, you give all these things, and then type continue. Once you click continue, this download will get enabled. Just download this agent. Okay, just download the agent. Once you download the agent, okay, it will get downloaded like this. If you go to the PE, you will get this app server agent. This app server agent will get downloaded. It will be a zip file. Unzip it. Once you unzip it, you will get this folder. In this, there will be a Java agent. Okay. So once you download and extract it, just copy this folder. Okay, this Control C, and then go to your Tomcat folder. Okay, just 2 steps. You can go to download this agent from AppDynamics site, and then go to this Tomcat folder, go to bin, right click this for catalina.bat file, right click it, edit it. Okay, and then if you come down, okay, you will have something like this. Okay, replace this folder with your folder wherever you have downloaded this agent, right? In my mission, it is D, and then D K6, and then I have this app server agent, and then Java agent. So this folder I'm giving it. In your mission, wherever you have downloaded this app server agent, give that path alone here, path/Java agent.jar. That's it. And then close this, and then again start your server. Okay, so just a very simple steps where you will be able to start your application along with your AppDynamics. Once it is, you go and again do a startup.bat, right? Again start the server. Then what will happen? Your AppDynamics will be connected to your local e-library application, and then you will start seeing the whatever you do from your application, you will start seeing that traffic in your AppDynamics. So if you just go and give 3 days, okay, you will see that there is an application, and then this kind of a map, you will see it. And to verify one more time, what you can do is you can go to the tiers and nodes. Okay, in the left hand side, you will see tiers and nodes. Go to the tier, go to the node, and then go to the memory. You will see this. Okay, you will see the heap utilization. You will see the garbage collection details. Okay, if you go to JVM, you will see all the JVM properties here. Okay, and then if you go to the business transaction, whatever you transaction you have done, I just did login, so it is showing the login. Okay, the third party calls, all these things you will be able to see it once you connect it to the AppDynamics. Okay, you can just try doing login, logout, and all. After 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you will see all those transactions appearing here as well. Okay, so the way we will use it, I know pretty much. I think many of you might know why we need APM tool, right? Any APM tool, you take it. Let me open a slide for this. Just give me 1 second. Any APM tool, you take a New Relic or AppDynamics or Dynatrace, right? The main objective of APM tool is to monitor and do a diagnostic of what is happening in your server side. Okay, so any tool you take it, you should be able to monitor your response time from a server side and troubleshoot the response time problem. Say, for example, from Jmeter or LoadRunner, you might be executing a login transaction or a search transaction, right? And you get a response time in the report. But what is happening really in a server side? Is it really taking 5 seconds, 8 seconds? So you should be able to monitor those transaction response time. And if the response time is high, you should be able to do a diagnostics. Second thing, at an application server level, your JVM level, your heap utilization, your thread utilization, your garbage collection, GC time, minor GCs, major GCs, all this monitoring you should be able to do it. And then your database calls, your SQL response time. If there is any third-party calls, what is the response time for the third-party calls? You should be able to take a heap dump. You should be able to monitor your infra level metrics like your CPU memory. You should be able to go and create alerts. You should be able to get those alert when something is deviated, like your response time got exceeded, your CPU got exceeded, right? All these things you should be able to do it in any APM tool like AppDynamics or Dynatrace or New Relic. All these things we will learn in detail when in the sessions, but I just wanted to provide you a very, very high level view on what is that you're going to get it from any APM tool. Okay. So this setup you do it. And if you have any problems, send a voice note to me and I'll be able to help you out with a voice note, or we can connect offline as well in any of the days during a weekday. Okay, so first thing is your e-library application. Second thing is setting up your AppDynamics the cloud, and then you should be able to configure it so that you can monitor these things. Okay, see, worst case, if in case no, I would definitely want you to do all these things. Worst case, if you couldn't able to do this for whatever reasons, right? Then I'll try to share my AppDynamics cloud account to you. At least you will be able to log in and then look into all these things what you're going to learn. Okay, but you have enough time to do the setup in your by yourself. So do it. Okay, fine. Before going to the next topic, guys, so again, this is whatever I told you of the AppDynamics, so only a very introduction and from a setup point of view. We will have a separate detailed session on AppDynamics in the upcoming weeks. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Very any basic questions, clarification on how to set up these things in your mission?
Yeah, hi Satish, this is Krishna. Like I don't have any organization email ID for this AppDynamics trial version. So I have
Okay,
only
you don't have any
Gmail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Do one thing. After setting up your e-library application in your mission, message me. I will see if I can able to get you any generic email account other than Gmail. Okay. There used to be some common domains available in which you can get the email IDs. It should be there. Okay. I'll try to help you out.
No, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Once you install your e-library application, right? Then just message me. I'll get you a account for you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, email account. Yeah. Okay. Anybody have? Anybody else? Don't hesitate at all. Please don't hesitate. Voice it out. Yeah. Please. Any questions? Please feel to ask. Okay, then no problem. We'll move on. Okay. So next thing, what a couple of folks asked me on the interview questions. Okay. I'll share you this list as well in a spreadsheet. I'll add this to the drive. Okay. See, these are some of the generic questions that you might get asked in the interviews, and most of these things we will be able to address it in the all the topics what we are going to learn. Okay. What happens if I'll just go over a couple of things. I'll not answer it, but just want you to get an idea of what are the various interview questions that will be asked, and whether you will be able to learn this in the our session or not. What happens if the thread stack reaches its maximum, which is nothing but if your thread is exhausted, what will happen to your application? What are the important JVM parameters with respect to heap? What are the various garbage collectors? What flags you will be using to tune the JVM and GC? During load test, how do you diagnose the memory issue? And then how do you troubleshoot the thread contentions? And then how about AWR report, and then how do you diagnose the performance issue using AppDynamics or Dynatrace? What is hard parsing in database? What is buffer cache hit ratio? What does wait event means in AWR report? What are the various client-side performance issues? Various cloud monitoring tools? How do you integrate Jmeter and Jenkins? What is auto scaling? How do you arrive at workload for your load test? Yeah, these are some of this commonly asked interview questions. What we'll also do is at the end of the course, right? We will go through each of one of these questions, and then we will try to see whether any of you are able to answer these questions. Okay, you should be able to answer it pretty much after learning all the topics in this course. So you should be able to easily answer it. So we'll have a discussion around these questions at the end of the batch, so that you can validate how well you have learned. So if you couldn't able to answer it, I will explain you. If somebody is going to ask me in the interview, the way I will answer it, I'll also explain you these questions and answer at the end. Okay, we'll have a discussion, and then I'll answer it. Okay, this is also one of the question some of you asked today, so I wanted to thought I'll share this. Okay, fine. So what I will do is, as I said, right, I'll just take a simple topic and I'll go over it. The thread is one of the topic in our session. Okay, so I'll just take this as a more of a demoable topic, and then I'll go over it. Okay. Okay, so as I was explaining you yesterday, right, the entire engineering or the capacity of your system is going to rely on your CPU, your memory, your thread, of course your response time, right? See, the very core objective of performance engineering is to reduce the cost. When I say reduce the cost, right, your application can be deployed in 10 missions or 5 missions or 20 missions, right? If you deploy it in 20 missions, you're going to spend, say, 1 lakh, for example. Okay, so you're going to deploy it in 5 missions, it's going to come down to 50,000 rupees. If it is going to be just 3 missions, it might be just costing you 20,000 rupees per year. Okay, so whether your application needs 20 missions or 10 missions, 3 missions, it depends upon how many users will be accessing your application, right? And then how much your application is consume your CPU or memory or thread, because every mission is going to have a boundary, right? Say for example, you have a mission of a configuration 8 GB and 2 cores. Okay, so every mission has a 8 GB RAM and 2 core dual core mission. Okay, if your application is not optimized, okay, if you haven't done a performance engineering, your application is not optimized, then what will happen? Your one single mission, you will be able to handle, say, 1,000 users. Okay, your ask is application has to handle 10,000 users, 10,000 concurrent users. Okay, then if application is not optimized, then say you could able to only reach 1,000 users per mission. Okay, then you would need 10 missions to handle 10,000 concurrent users. It's a very simple math, right? Your requirement is to handle 10,000 concurrent user, and you have not done any optimization. So which means, say your one server could able to handle only 1,000 users, then you would need 10 missions. Okay, your application's functionality response time might be 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 6 seconds. Your application functionalities are consuming more memory. There is a memory leak, which means you're not going to optimally use your CPU or memory, right? If you're going to do a proper performance engineering, and you're going to bring down your response time from 7 seconds to 3 seconds, you're going to optimize your memory, and you're going to arrest the memory leaks, then what will happen? Lesser the response time, better the CPU, and lesser the memory consumption. Instead of handling 1,000 user from one mission, you will be able to scale up to say 2,000 or 2,500 per mission. I'm just saying an example. Okay, so um, as I was saying yesterday, your response time is related to a thread, and thread is related to a CPU. Okay, because every task, it can be a login or logout, it is going to get handled by a thread. Thread is nothing but a task handler. Okay, thread is nothing but a task handler. Whatever task it is coming in, there will be a thread waiting, and that thread will take up the task, it will execute. So if a login is going to take 6 seconds or 8 seconds, a thread is going to be active for 6 seconds or 8 seconds. If a login is going to take 15 seconds, a thread is going to be active for 15 seconds. If a login is going to take just 3 seconds, then thread will finish the task within the 3 seconds, right? So which means if a thread can finish a task in 3 seconds, it can take up another login, another login, another login. So lesser the response time, your thread utilization is going to improve. If your thread utilization is going to be better, so who is going to execute this thread? Your CPU. It needs a power. Right? You need a CPU to execute the code. So if a thread is going to complete a work within 3 seconds, your CPU is also going to be then less. Okay, so response time, CPU, thread, all three are interrelated. Better response time, better thread utilization, and better is your CPU. Okay, so thread is nothing but a task handler. I will try to explain you with an. Okay, there's a question. Sorry, I didn't see the question. Is AppMon, sorry, is a Perfmon and AppDynamics same? Okay, so if you take Perfmon, right? I go to the Perfmon. Sorry to cut off that thread concept. Since there's a question, I'll take it up and then go back to that thread concept. So if you see here, this is the performance monitor, right? And in the performance monitor, you will be able to get your memory, your physical disk utilization, your CPU, all these infra level monitoring. Okay, what is that? Infra level monitoring. My laptop's CPU, my laptop's memory, my laptop's disk utilization is what you'll be able to see it. But in AppDynamics, right, it is not only your infra monitoring, your applications transaction response time, why response time is taking more time, your application heap, thread, garbage collection, your SQL queries, third-party calls, all these things you will be able to do it in the AppDynamics or Dynatrace. Okay, so Perfmon is only a single component that is going to monitor, which is nothing but your physical mission, your infrastructure monitoring alone. You will be able to do it in performance in Perfmon. But in APM tool, you will be able to do everything that is required for your monitoring and diagnostic of your infra, your application, your SQL queries, your third-party calls, everything. Okay. We have plugin for Perfmon in Jmeter. Okay. Probably you can explain me this in detail, ma'am. I can explain you offline. Perfmon plugin in Jmeter we installed in App Server. I don't understand what do you mean by that. Okay, but no worries. I'll be able to explain you what exactly you need. Okay. Yeah. Maybe after the call, you send me a voice note. I'll explain you. Okay. Coming back to the topic. Okay. The thread. I'll try to make you understand what really thread is. Right. A simple comparison, simple analogy. You might have all be using Swiggy or Zomato kind of food apps, right? I'll try to do a comparison between, not a comparison, an analogy between your thread and Swiggy. Okay, so the Swiggy, we all know that we order food, and then there will be a people who are going to wait to pick up your order and get it back to your residence, right? That's how Swiggy operates. So in a normal day, you will have multiple Swiggy orders, right? To handle this traffic, you might have, say, the peak hour in the morning or in the late in the evening. You might have, say, 10 or 15 people waiting in the your near to your area, right? But in the afternoon time or in the non-peak hours, you might have just 4 or 5 people. Okay, Swiggy will deploy more delivery person in the peak hours, and they will deploy less number of people during the off hours. So whenever you order, what happens, a person who is available, who is free, right, that your order will be assigned to that person. And then what you will do, you will go to the restaurant, and then you will wait for the food to get processed, and then you will take the food, and then you will come and deliver it to your uh, home. Similarly, another person will order, some other person will order. So whoever is free, he will take up the your order and he will deliver it. Correct. And if there is a more traffic, then that is why you also see sometimes your delivery will get delayed, right? Because too much traffic and less number of delivery people, so you will get your food delivered little delayed. That's how the Swiggy or Zomato operates. Similarly, when it comes to your server, okay, you have a browser through which, say, from Amazon.com, you log in and you order, or you do a search, or you add something to a cart, or you will place an order. Whenever you do some transaction in your Amazon, it is like you can compare that you are accessing your website similar to you're ordering a food in your app. And then when you click something, the request goes from your browser, and then it will be handled by a thread. Thread is similar to your delivery person, right, who is going to handle your Swiggy order. Similarly, in your app server, there will be a thread waiting to receive the request from the browser. There will be many threads that will be there to handle the parallel task. You might be accessing Amazon, I might be accessing the Amazon for my own transaction, and there will be n number of people who will be accessing the Amazon website. So threads will be waiting. Whichever thread is free, it will the task will be assigned to that thread. Similar to that delivery person, whichever thread is available, the task will be assigned. So that thread will, what it will do, it will go and call the respective login or add to cart, and then it will get executed. Once the processing is completed, it will deliver the response back to the browser. Okay, so the threads are similar to the delivery person who are working for Swiggy. They will be sometimes free. Whenever they are free, a task might get assigned, and the task will get processed, and then the response will be sent back to your browser. Okay. Similarly, in your app server also, for your application also, sometimes it will be having a very heavy traffic. Sometimes it will be having a normal traffic. Say, usually in the morning, in the evening, your application might have heavy traffic. Maybe in the night, it will have a very less traffic. So to handle the peak hours, similar to Swiggy, right? Swiggy, what they do, in the morning and evening, they will deploy 20 people. Maybe in the afternoon, they will have only 5 people will be there for the delivery, right? Similarly, in application server also, to handle the peak load, they will have some 100 threads configured to handle the more traffic. For the off hours, they will have only 20 or 30 threads. So you will have a configuration called min threads and max threads. If you go to any app service, right? For example, if I go to my Tomcat and if I go to my configuration, there is a provision to provide the minimum thread and then maximum thread. If I go and edit this, you will see somewhere down, I will be giving minimum threads and maximum threads. Sorry guys, just me 1 second. Sorry. So if you see here, there is something called where it is minimum threads and maximum threads. Okay, so which means that when a traffic is less, there will be only 3 threads. When traffic is more, there will be 10 threads. Okay, so that's how your application server will handle the peak and non-peak traffic. Okay, so this analogy is just for your understanding and for your remembrance. Okay, it is not exactly like to like a comparison, but with this example you will not be able to forget the way thread works, right? What is thread? How threads are going to handle your task, and there is going to be a min and max configuration always in any application to handle the your peak traffic and non-peak traffic. Okay, and when it comes to thread state, right, these things you will learn it in detail later. The thread contentions, when to take thread dump, how to take thread dump, what are the various states of thread. All these things you will learn it in detail during a thread topic when we the next week or next to next week. Okay, again from a thread state, you're going to have a couple of thread states. Okay, when a thread is started, right, when your application starts, all the threads will be idle. Then it will go into a running. Then it will go into a, say if it is going to be waiting for some calls to complete it, right? It might go to waiting state. It will again come to a idle state. So idle, running, waiting, idle, running, waiting. All these are various states of your thread. Okay, fine. So these in detail we will learn it later. Again, I just from a demo perspective, I want to provide you a overview on what is thread, what is a task, and how these threads are going to get created, and how these tasks are going to get assigned to the various threads that are there in the thread pool. Okay, we will have again very detailed discussion, detailed learning about this thread concept later. Okay, all these thread contention, thread dump, analyzing thread dump, we will learn later. Okay, I'll pass it here, guys. Any questions on whatever you learned from a thread perspective? Yeah, please ask.
Hi Satish. Like if
Yeah,
you
please go
already
ahead.
have threads in your application, then why most of the companies use queues for similar type of process? Like they also use queues and they also do the work similar, right?
See, queues and thread are different. I will explain you. Good question. See, thread pool is where for application you will, a thread is a task handler, right? So you will provide, I need 100 or 150 as a min and max, and it is going to handle the traffic. Queuing is somewhere like you'll have MQs, you will have Kafka kind of a queuing system that is to handle the asynchronous processing. Okay, for example, you have a, say, Amazon.com itself as an example, we'll take it. Okay, so Amazon architecture will be, you have a browser from where you will access the application. It will go and when you do something, it will go and hit your app server, right? To hit the app server, in the app server you will have this thread configuration, so it can handle 100 tasks concurrently. If you have a minimum as 100 threads, then it can handle 100 tasks concurrently. So 100 people doing a login at a time, it can handle all the 100 logins. Okay, and then if same time if 110 people are going to handle, then those 10 people will be waiting for the thread to be available. Okay, but this is not queue. This is just a thread getting busy, and your other 10 people will have to wait. So the response time will be little bit high, and then once a thread gets completed, and your other 101, 102 login will happen. Okay, this is how the thread is going to work. Okay, and then there will be a lot of login, search, everything will will happen in the your server, right? Then, for example, from your application server, there will be a middleware, there will be analytics server, there will be a database server, there will be a third-party calls, there will be other microservices. So your architecture might have a lot of backend components, right? For example, let's consider there is going to be a order processing system. Okay, because whenever you place an order, you will get a confirmation saying that order is placed, correct? And then your order ID will be created. Okay, once order ID order is created, okay, there will be a backend system to go and process this order, right? It has to go and validate the inventory. It will go and make some entry in different systems. Okay, those backend systems is all going to be a complete asynchronous thing. When I say asynchronous, that is not going to be those things are not going to be relevant for you as an end user. You as an end user will not even know what is happening behind the scene. You will place an order and you will get an order after 5 days, correct? Now once you place an order, from there there will be some request sent to the backend analytics server. Something will go to the warehouse systems. Something will go to your say there will be a system to handle all these packaging, right? There will be n number of backend systems. So to the backend system, there won't be a direct call, because you no need response time is not there important, right? Because as a user, your work is over. So to connect to the third party systems, to backend system, they will have a queue. Okay, so this order ID will be put it in the queue, saying that there is an order made by XYZ for a laptop, so it will go into a queue. Okay, and there will be a consumers for this message. When I say consumers, a consumer could be a analytical system, and another consumer could be your data warehousing system or your packaging system. They will take the message from the queue and then they will process it. Okay, so this queuing is from your application server to your other offline systems, backend systems. There they will introduce queue, because there is no immediate action is required. There is no direct API call is required. Okay, it will slowly put it in the queue, and then your backend system will take it and consume it. Okay, so threads and queues are different. Thread is to handle your calls. It's a task handler. Queuing is to make your backend system to work resiliently, where the immediate action is not required. I don't want within 5 seconds, I don't want my warehousing system to process the order, or I don't want your packaging system to take the order for packaging. It can take 1 minute, 5 minutes. So I'll just put it in the queue, and then the backend system will take it and process it. That's how queue works. Okay. There are many examples for queue. Okay, if you're still not clear, just send me a voice note. I'll give you some more examples so that you will know why we need queue and what is queue.
Okay, thanks for this.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, you're asking about ramp up. Okay, I'll explain you. Okay. Again, I'll take an example of your probably IRCTC. Okay. IRCTC is your train ticket booking website, right? So normally 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you will not have traffic, right? After 9 a.m., slowly your traffic will increase. Your peak hour is, say, during that call time. That call time is 10 a.m. correct? So from 9:30, you will have users getting logged in very rapidly, right? Okay, so it will be like within 30 minutes, there will be some thousands of users connecting to IRCTC. Okay, and that 10 to 12 will be a peak hour. All the 1,000 users will be accessing the application, and after that, slowly your traffic will come down. So in a real world, for your real application, there will be a pattern. For IRCTC, the pattern would be in 10 minutes, lot of users will be accessing it. Okay, and then if you take your employee portals, right? If you're working in an organization, your intranet websites, right? Your payroll systems or your ticketing systems, in your organization, you might be using your application, right? Your intranet application. What happens usually from 9 a.m. people will start using those applications. So from 9 to 10 a.m. slowly your users will logging into those applications. So there will always be a ramp up, right? Your users will start using the application in a pattern. Okay, so ramp up is nothing but the users will start using your application, and then from 9 to 10 everybody will be logging in, and 10 to 12 will be a peak hour, and after that the slowly your traffic will come down. So ramp up is nothing but a how fast or what is the pattern of your users connecting to your website. Normally what we will do is, if 1,000 concurrent users you want to test it, right, we will have a ramp up of within 5 minutes those 1,000 users will be ramped up, or 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Okay, this information has to come from your business or from your product owners. Okay, you have to ask your product owners, your development architects, or your business team, what is a pattern you see it in the production, whether you see a very rapid ramp up, which is within 5 minutes they might say that ramp up all 1,000 users. Some will say that you do a slow ramp up, take 20 minutes for a ramp up. So that is how you need to design your load scenario. Okay, yeah. And there is one question came up in the morning to me. What you will learn from a client side performance? What are those metrics you will capture? Okay, so from a server side, we use Jmeter, we use LoadRunner, we use AppDynamics to capture all these server side transaction response time, errors, throughput. And then from AppDynamics, we saw what are all things we will be looking into it, right? When it comes to client side performance is nothing but, I open a website, say I'm going to open crickinfo.com, and as an end user, how fast application is loading for me, what is my end user experience? That is the client side performance. This you will not be able to measure it using Jmeter or using your LoadRunner, because this is your end user experience, a browser response time. Okay, so this you will be able to do it only using your Chrome and tools like your developer tools. Okay, this actually response time, when I go to my developer tool, okay, if I go to developer tool and then go to network tab, okay, and then if I hit this, okay, you will see a response time in the bottom right hand side. You see load of 1.12 seconds. This is my end user response time. Okay, so when it comes to client side performance, we will monitor this load time, time to first paint, time to contentful paint, time to first byte. All these metrics are important from a end user perspective. So we will in our sessions we will learn how to capture these client side metrics, and then also how to optimize your client side performance, how to reduce your request, how to reduce the page size. All these from an engineering perspective we will learn. Okay, so the compression, how to validate the compression of your resources, caching, minification of your JavaScript, and then combining the style sheet and JavaScript. All these client side profiling and optimization we will learn from a client side performance perspective. Okay, again, this was one of the questions somebody asked today. What is we are going to learn in client side performance? What metrics we are going to capture? So I thought I will explain that to you as well. Which is this question is very generic, so I thought I will answer it in the session itself. Okay, fine guys. I'll pass it here again. Yesterday and today is more in terms of providing you insight on what you're going to learn in the course, and just for you to get a idea about my teaching style, all these things. So from next Saturday, it's going to be we'll start the sessions one by one. From whatever topic I told, we will start from day one from next Saturday. Next Saturday it's going to be 2 hours. Sunday it's going to be 2 hours. Okay. Anybody have any questions? I'll open it for the questions. Feel free to ask. And for registration, you can reach out to the WhatsApp admins or to Kumar sir. Okay. And for any other questions, you can I'm there in the group. You can reach out to me in the group or in the separate chat as well. Okay. I'll stop it here, guys. If you have any questions, we can spend some more time. Otherwise, we will meet next Saturday.
Please provide access.
Sure. Right away after this, after the meeting is over, I'll send it to you, and then I'll send you the drive link as well. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. We will meet next Saturday. Meanwhile, practice these things. Try to set up these softwares in your machine. And if you have any doubts, if you got stuck, send me the screenshot and you can send me a voice note. I'll help you out. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys.